All right, people. Hey, you. Attitude. That's what we're talking about today. We're talking about attitude to conflict conversations. Why they go wrong, how to move beyond a winner's and loser's mindset, how to make sure that your conflict conversations become co-creative conversations. Okay, welcome. So, we are in the third of the mini-series on different types of conversations in your life and solutions for them. So this one is looking all at conflict. Conflict in your life, in any area of your life, in your friends, your family, your work, your partner, your kids, the whole shebang. I'm going to let you into a secret. Conflict is an inevitable part of adulting. If no one told you that, I'm sorry. I am truly sorry. And if you weren't taught that at school, there's a lot to say about that. But I can't cover that in this video. However, what I can give you in these videos, this is number 1 of 5, is every conflict goes through a structure, and I'm going to give you a 5-part structure over these next few days, these next few videos, that you can use to make sure that your conflict conversations become co-creative rather than combative and winner-loser fallouts. Okay? So this is going to be great for you if you're interested in healing broken relationships that you have with people in your life. It's going to be great for you if you avoid conflict and you just have tons of unresolved issues and tensions hanging around you. Or if you want to swap out a hot-headed, flame-throwing way of having conflict, so lots and lots of arguments, and move towards a more calm and collected presence instead. So listen in if any of that resonates and plucks at your strings, okay? So it's time to write yourself a new conflict story, right? The old one of winners and losers is just totally outdated, is not fit for purpose. It never really was. But, you know, you were taught it as you went through parent-child dynamic. That most of those dynamics teach us that conflict is a power struggle. Then you go to school and you have the teacher-student dynamic. Again, it's a power struggle a lot of the time. And then you go to work and you've got the boss and employee. So look at these hierarchical power dynamics that are coming into play. And then you have, and someone must win and someone must lose. Bang. Conflict over. Someone feels great, someone feels crap. That is a conflict conversation in the traditional model. So I want to invite you into a new story over these next few videos. One that is co-creating alternative endings with others. It's a withness dynamic, not an us and them, me and you dynamic. It's a withness dynamic, okay? So throughout this video, I'm going to reveal the inside information on your conflict type and its restore strategy. And I'm going to show you the 5-part connection structure that you can use to have new footholds in your conflict conversations and your relationships going forward in every area of your life. Sound good? Cool. So we're talking no more fear of their response. Or fear of hurting others or making it worse. No more blocked communication channels where it's gone stagnant and it's not moving. And no more shattering outbursts that destroy relationships. So over these next few videos, you're going to walk away with 5 delicious things. The confidence to raise an issue with somebody. The secret to finding the right time to have the chat. The magic of getting really specific on what needs to change. The knack of sidestepping. I can't do that one. It's weird. So we're going to have to do that. The knack of sidestepping the big row and finding mutual solutions instead. And boo! For number 5, the art of creating a feedback culture for shared growth in any area of your life, with anyone in your life. Cool. So if you are ready to stop having conflict in your life and start lifting those tensions, so now you have things that there is a tension, but now you can move forward once and for all, then this 5-day communication challenge is so for you. Let's dive in, okay? Let's bust a myth. So the first myth I want to bust, day 1, we're busting if you ignore conflict, it goes away all by itself. Anyone else found that to be true? Because I haven't. It's the total myth. Total myth. No, it's not true. The unresolved conflicts in your life hang around and fester in your relationships and linger like a bad smell. And every time you're near that person who you have a conflict or a tension with, the bad smell shows up again. Am I right? Right. So you're infecting these unresolved tensions, infect these relationships with distrust and unease. Just take a moment, think if you have anybody with whom you have distrust and unease. It just feels a bit icky. Just take a moment. Yeah, right? You've been ignoring it, hoping it'll just go away, but it doesn't. So sadly, avoiding conflict is a proven way to also avoiding connection. I'm going to say that again because it's really important. Avoiding conflict is a way of avoiding connection. So based on that, conflict conversations are really reconnection conversations. How's that? They're not conflict conversations at all. You're seeking to reconnect and repair a broken relationship. Honey, it's already broken. It's broken anyway. So we need to mend it, heal it, restore it, right? The reality is that conflict conversations fail to happen due to 3 main things. A chicken-hearted attitude, a winners and losers mindset, or a blocked ears mentality. These may be conflict types. So the pitfalls are not knowing your conflict type. If one of those plucked at your strings, it's telling you something about your conflict type. Also, not using the relevant restore strategy. If you use the wrong restore strategy for the conflict type, it's not going to work and you're going to stay in your conflict type all triggered and all disordered, and it's not going to go very well. And not considering the other person's conflict type and their restore strategy. Once you know the other person's conflict type in their restore strategy, you can use that in your dynamic as a way of making sure, helping, promoting that this goes better. All right? So what's your conflict type? Mine? See if you can guess by the time we get to the end of all 3. If those of you who know me a bit better, you've got a head start. But I'll tell you mine after this. So just a word of advice, a hint. If you feel outed by any of the antidotes or triggered by hearing them or resistant to any of the strategies, such responses are telling you something about your conflict type, and it's okay. If you feel outraged, outed, or resistant to any of this, feel that. Use it as your guide. It's telling you something. It's pointing you in the right direction. All right? Kiss it gently with kindness and go, thank you for guiding me. And tune into the restore strategy for the conflict type that you are. So honestly, the type is not the issue. We're all a conflict type. It's really not about, well, I shouldn't have a conflict type because I should be totally zen by now. Most of us may never get to nirvana. So we need to know our conflict type and its restore strategy. I promise you it will help. So yeah, it's not about the conflict. The conflict type is not the issue here. Each type has its own way of snuffing out real conversation and real communication and sabotaging your relationship. So it's the absence of a restore strategy, not knowing or not using the conflict type's restore strategy, your conflict type's restore strategy, leads you astray and prolongs conflict, okay? So I'm going to, here's the 3 types, and I'm going to share a little story. So maybe you are a people-pleasing conflict avoider. The clue's in the name. A people-pleasing conflict avoider. So for you, you need to tap into your innate courage, okay? And you would do that using structure. Structures that mean that you have footholds on what you might do next. Okay, so you don't feel completely at sea without a map or an oar, no wind, shit, what do I do? All right? Or maybe you're a self-righteous conflict paternalist. Again, the clue's in the name. And for you, you'll need to tap into your innate empathy. You need to feel from the other side and imagine what it might be like. And you would do that by listening or imagining other realities than the one that you believe so strongly. Or maybe you're a hot-headed conflict flamethrower. Again, the clue is in the name. And for this, you need to tap into your innate centeredness. Come back home, gather all of your weapons, put them back in the bag, close the bag. And you might do this through meditation, going for a walk, even taking yourself out of the situation for a bit until you can come back without all your weapons in your hands. Okay? So I'm going to share with you a little story. And this is a story about me and my sister. And we are very different people with very different conflict strategies and very different restore strategies and different communication needs, right? So there's a lot of potential for our conversations and our interactions to go wrong, for us not to see eye to eye, for us not to, for us to step on each other's toes. Luckily these days we've pretty much got it down, but it wasn't always the case. It wasn't always the case. Siblings, right? So me and my sister would fall out and we would not speak to each other for months at a time sometimes. And this was really painful. It really, really hurt, including significant moments in our lives. We weren't talking at really important times in our lives, and we didn't support each other in significant moments in our lives because we had no way of restoring our relationship and healing our relationship at the time. We were already adults, but we were young and foolish. Yeah, so we weren't kids, we were adults, and really it's like, how do we not have something for this? But we didn't. And we'd hold, so her conflict type is more of a flamethrower type, and she will shut down the conversation and leave it completely. So flamethrower can be to be very violently angry and argumentative, or it can be to just like boom, slam the door, hang up the phone or whatever, shut down the conversation. It's a strong, what might be perceived as a violent act, but not necessarily physical violence. But I mean that it's a very strong act, okay? And it shuts down any dialogue. And I am, have you guessed? I am a righteous type, okay? So I get up on my high horse and everybody is an idiot. I'm looking down on you all and you're all idiots. How could you do that? How could you not see that? So that's me. I'm a righteous type. So we've got a flamethrower and a righteous type. And we need to tap into our innate centeredness and our empathy. But we didn't know how to do that. So we would hold our positions really, really strongly. We're deaf ears, we're winners and losers mindset. This is going very badly. We're not talking now. Okay. And we'd sit there on our islands for one, waiting and waiting and waiting for the apology to come from the other person, obviously, and it would never come. And that is until the day we decided to stop living in competition with each other, the winners losers mindset, right? We just dropped it. We just recognized that we are very different people. We have very different communication needs, conflict types, and restore strategies. And we can hold it all a lot more lightly now and recognize that this isn't personal. It's a clash in how we function as people. And so we can hold it all with this lightness and this kind of willingness to explore each other's position and find out where the misunderstanding is, okay? And now we appreciate each other's differences. And I mean, it's been years, it's been many, many years, more than 10 years since we fell out and didn't speak for months. Whew. So here's a little bit more information about the 3 conflict types to kind of really help you identify which one you are. So if you are a people-pleasing conflict avoider, also known as the chicken heart, and I say these names with love, I just think it helps to name something to identify it and understand it. You can find your own name for it if you like, totally fine. I want to let you know that you can't, talking to you directly as a conflict avoider, you can't break a relationship that's already broken. If a relationship is disordered, if it's broken, then it's already broken. So this worry about making it worse is not really founded in reality. It's already broken. By approaching to restore it, you're caring about the relationship. You are choosing to care about healing the relationship, and you are wanting to nudge it into the healing direction, the restoring direction, okay? And you're going to do that by knowing your type, using its restore strategy, which is a structure. So if the vibe is already bad, you're going to try and do something about it. So by deciding to raise the issue, you're empowering both you and the other person to reconnect. And while this may feel really uncomfortable during the middle of it, in the midst of the conflict conversation, it feels a lot more comfortable once everyone has come out the other side. And the only way it comes out the other side is by addressing it. Remember, at the top we said, if you ignore it, it goes away, and that's just not true. So ignoring a disordered or a broken relationship doesn't mean it gets better. It just means it stays like a bad smell following you around for the rest of your life. All right? So when you use a strategy like this connection structure you're going to learn over these videos, or any other structure like a nonviolent communication approach, or there's quite a few different conflict resolution structures that you can draw upon, then you have the footholds in order to raise the conversation, have the conversation, resolve the conversation, heal the relationship. If it's already broken, it's a broken relationship. So by doing something, you're caring about it, right? Obviously, this is different if it's a question of safety. If you're avoiding a conflict conversation because it's genuinely a threat to your physical safety, that's very reasonable. Continue to do that, okay? So it's just a tension in the relationship rather than an actual threat to your safety. Okay, what if you're self-righteous, a high horse person? You get up there and you're a hi-hat paternalist. What do you do? So your antidote is to tune into your innate empathy, okay? So there are 2 sides to every story, minimum. There are minimum 2 sides to every story. Every person who's involved has a story, has a version of what happened. And they're all valid and they're all true for each person, okay? So self-righteous creates a stalemate where no movement is possible. And it becomes increasingly difficult, the longer it stays like that, to change it. So you may find out that you were right all along, that your righteous position was warranted, but the difference is that the relationship has come back together and you were right, and that's cool. Don't chuck it in their face. It's not, no one likes to be told that. Told you so. But even if you do find out that you were right all along, at least now the relationship is healthy again. And more likely is that you'll find out that it was more nuanced than the story you were telling yourself in your head that allowed you to stay up on your high horse, right? It was more nuanced, and that there was a misunderstanding sitting at the center of it. So drop your superior attitude, easier said than done, but I promise you it's worth it. And listen to their side of the story. Seek to understand their position, their experience, and their feelings. And why they would behave like that. Seek to understand why to them that behavior made sense. And then you can discuss adjusting the behavior that is causing the issue and get clarity on it. And that is obviously the desired outcome after all, to heal a relationship and understand what on earth went wrong. Okay. And what if you're a devil-may-care flamethrower? You are a hot-headed conflict creator. Whew. So the antidote to that is to recenter yourself, centeredness. And so losing your cool often disempowers everyone involved and shuts down the conversation completely. As I said before, either by hurling insults, shouting in one direction, you're deaf, dumb, and blind to anything coming towards you. You are seeing red. And nothing, no dialogue can penetrate your rage, right? You may have hung up the phone or slammed the door. It's over, done, dead to you. Okay? Whew. So although you may feel powerful in that moment, and I bet £1,000,000 that you do, you feel untouchable, unbreakable. You may, however, feel quite foolish and embarrassed afterwards, even a bit of shame. Okay? Or you drop down into this conflict type can move into righteousness afterwards and just stay there, just stuck in righteousness. Okay? So when you feel the heat rising and you are starting to get angry, breathe in and out on a count of 3. So you can feel the heat rising. You're just going to go. So you're just taking your foot off the gas. You're slowing things down. You're giving yourself a tiny buffer because you have this self-awareness that you know that your conflict type is flamethrower, and you know that your restore strategy is centeredness. So you're going to deliberately, even though it's counterintuitive, do your breath. And then you can do this as slow as you need to. You can even say, give me a minute, because you can feel the heat rising. You can ask permission for that space, and you're going to just do your breath. And if it's a real biggie, and this person is just making you unfathomably angry, before you respond, and I have used this one because I can go into flamethrower, but I'm generally straight to righteous. But I've used this with my clients and they said it is a game changer. So if it's a biggie and you know you can feel it, your top is about to blow, try this. So breathe in. And then as you breathe out in your head, completely silently, never say it out loud, you're going to say, go F yourself, fill in the blank. And really mean it. Like, mean it so hard, as though you said it and you poked them in the eye with a hot poker, because you're that angry that you can't say anything else until you've said that. But on the inside, just for you, because you know you're a flamethrower, that you need to recenter yourself. And this is the equivalent of letting out some of the pressure out of a steam cooker, right? Or like you've overpumped a tire, it's about to burst, so you just let a little bit of the air out, and then now it's not going to pop. Okay, again, giving yourself a buffer. And recompose yourself. So on the next breath, when you breathe in, you're going to say something more relationship building. I mean, anything more relationship building, such as, thank you for sharing that with me. That thing that just made you really angry, you're just going to say, thank you for sharing that with me. Or, I appreciate that this is difficult and I want to find a way through together. Okay? It's going to take a lot of centeredness. But with self-awareness, this is how you can behave. So in summary, we're coming to the end of part 1. In summary, take a moment to identify first your conflict type. Hopefully by now you've gone like, oh yeah, that's me. If you haven't, go and rewatch the replay and tune in. Notice where the tensions come up. Notice where you feel maybe a bit of shame, or maybe you feel a bit of outrage, like, nah, I'm totally not any of those, especially not that one. That's telling you something, okay? Hold it lightly, kiss it tenderly. This is not something to beat yourself with. This is self-awareness in order to change how you approach conflict conversations, all right? It's so useful. Know your type, know your restore strategy. And then you can start to see everyone else's types and know their restore strategy all over, because you get it. You've got the secret. All right? And help them. Help them know their conflict type. So do you mainly avoid conflict or refuse to engage? Do you assume a self-righteous, I'm right, you're wrong position? Or do you mainly exacerbate conflict and indulge in outbursts of white-hot anger? Just notice which one feels most alive for you. And take the time to feel into and identify with this conflict type and its restore strategy. And then take the time to look at, based on the restore strategy that's relevant to you, what is your version of that? What does your breathing exercise look like? Or, is it that you need to just go and take yourself away and go outside for a moment? Is going outside something that will help you? So there's many different ways. And if it's the avoider, stay tuned, get the rest of the structure as well, because that's going to be part of it's going to be an innate part of your restore strategy, is to have a structure so you feel that you've got some safe footholds. And empathy, like what's going to help you check in with your empathy? Is it asking yourself questions like, how else might they see it, or what's going on for them right now? So tune into and take some time to notice what your version of the restore strategy that's relevant will be. And practice and embed that restore strategy so you can draw upon it when you're disordered, i.e. triggered into your conflict type. You can draw upon it more easily because it's familiar. Practice, practice, practice. All right? So yeah, what's your conflict type and what's your restore strategy? Let me know in the comments your conflict type and how you're going to use the restore strategy. I'd love to hear how this lands with you. And of course, if you have any questions, drop them in the comments as well, and I will come back and answer you. You can also DM me directly if you have some questions too. So coming up, we have the magic of timing, the difficult chat. We also have the secrets of communicating exactly what needs to change. And we have the knack of sidestepping the big row and finding mutual ways forward. And also the art of creating a supportive feedback structure that creates shared growth. All right. So in case you haven't seen the rest in the series, this is the third This is the third offering in this series. So this is all about conflict. The last one was all about dating conversations and living a fully erotic life, which means full of curiosity, playfulness, and imagination, whether you are looking for someone new or looking to spice up your current relationship. And also how to have new conversations with new people anytime, anywhere. The power and beauty of small talk. So go and check out those. They're on my IGTV. And yeah, let me know what other themes, what other communication themes you would love these little mini series to be about, and I will create it for you. Marvelous. All right, people, I am signing out on the end of episode 1. And stay tuned, come back in for episode 2, 3, 4, and 5 and catch the replays or join me live. And it's so lovely to see you. And I'm excited for you to know your conflict type. I really am. In the meantime, I'm going to write us out with a bit of attitude. Attitude. Oh yeah. Goodbye, people. I'll see you in the next video.